Hitchhiker by LeBron Keener. Driving down the highway, alone, just me in the car. All these cars passing by would make one think that it was not a lonely situation to be in, but it was indeed very lonely. As the landscape changes from pasture land to pine woods and back to pasture land, I can't help but feel uneasy as the sun sets, casting an eerie evening glow through the windows of my sedan. It's not bright, just a foreboding blood-orange sky. Everyone exiting the highway for the night fills up the roadside motels as twilight begins to encircle my car, bringing on the night. I continue driving down the lonely, desolate highway, trying to keep my eyes on the road ahead of me. Knowing there is no one around to hear my voice, I try to hum to myself to keep the mood a bright one. The headlights illuminate the reflectors ahead of me, and I try to count them in my head to pass the minutes and the hours. The only company I have is the faint tail lights of a car ahead of me, so far away that I can't make out what kind of car it is. I just know it's a quarter mile or so ahead, and my job is to follow the lights down the darkening highway. I continue down the road, looking for anything to amuse me in the boredom of the lonely night on the highway. I read the billboards, the ones that are lit up at night, the ones that advertise restaurants, motels, and strange roadside tourist traps exhibiting some freak of nature. I decide to look for a station on the radio, but all I can find is static mixed in with some local preacher preaching hellfire and brimstone and ranting about adultery, homosexuality, and nudity on television. All of a sudden, looking up from the radio, I see a figure standing on the side of the road. A hitchhiker. He was an older man, with piercing eyes and a smile. Not really even a smile, just a smirk on his face. He was looking at me as I passed by. An odd character to be standing on the side of the road at night. He had a small sack on his back, and he was wearing an old Stetson fedora hat. I'll admit, the startle I got from seeing someone this far out in the middle of nowhere made my heart skip a few beats. Those eyes, I thought as I tried to calm myself, continuing down the road. No service out here, I say to myself as I look at my cell phone blinking in the console next to me. I looked back up at the road just as a figure appeared standing on the shoulder. It was the hitchhiker. The same man as before, with the same smile and the same eyes. I think to myself as I speed by him. That can't be, I said. I'm just getting tired. I drive on until I come to a town along the desolate highway. The lights are a blessing to me as I slow down for the town speed limit on the highway. But at this hour, there's nobody out. It appears to be just me driving through, a stranger in a car without state plates. The light turns yellow as I slow down to stop awaiting the red light at the crossroads. The light turned red. I sat in the car patiently as I wait for the all clear of the green light, I look around at the quiet small town for any sign of life. I look into the rearview mirror. There are no cars behind me. All I can hear is my car's idling engine and a dog barking in the night. The windshield, illuminated by the red light, casts an eerie blood-red glow within the car around me. I look back into the mirror and see his piercing eyes.
Please stop,
he moaned in a low, agonizing voice. I sped off, ignoring the red light and the speed limit of the desolate small town. He spoke to me. He wanted me to stop. What did he want? Why doesn't he leave me alone? I wonder as I speed down the highway. Back in the darkness, I drive on the highway once more. The town, as comforting as it was still rather spooky in my mind. I turn back to the radio, turning it on, trying to find some music to soothe my fears. More static I find, mixed in with the fiery preacher from earlier. I push the seek button, trying to find life within the radio waves. Sifting through the crackling static, it finally stops on a station it has found.
please stop.
Said the voice on the radio. It was his voice. Damn it, what is going on? I shout. Pressing the seek button again, it finds another station.
Please stop.
He says again in the same agonizing low voice. Station after station of his voice asking me,
Please stop.
I turn off the radio and continue driving. I'm getting so sleepy, but I know I can't stop now. I have to continue driving to outrun the hitchhiker. But no matter how fast I go, he is always a step ahead of me. I pass mile marker after mile marker, and there he is, with his thumb out, smiling and staring me down. I can't stop. I say to myself, I can't. I hear a loud beat that scares me to my wits' end, and then realize I'm low on fuel. I know I will have to stop in the next town I come to, hoping to find an all-night service station and some people. God, how I wish I could see some people. I continue on my way as the first light of morning makes its way over the horizon. I am relieved that the day is now approaching and saving me from this terrible night. Finally, I drive into another small town, this one more pleasant as the sun comes up over the trees. I pull into the service station to get gas. Looking at the numbers on the pump I'm using, I notice the hitchhiker standing across the street from the station. Same smile. Same eyes. I hurry inside to pay for the fuel and ask the cashier to please call the police on the man across the street because he's been stalking me all night long. I point.
Honey, there's no one over there,
says the lady behind the counter. I look back across the street, and there he is, and he is smiling as he walks toward my car. I run out and get in my car, and he looks at me. Oh my God, why won't he leave me alone?
Please stop.
I drive like a maniac, faster than I've ever driven before. I pass him again, and again, and again. Then all of a sudden, nothing. I didn't see him anywhere. Is he gone? God, I hope so. My nerves are calm. The music on the radio is pleasant as the sun shines through the windows of my car. I began to enjoy my trip once more. I drive up to a roadblock. The police stop me.
Sorry, the road is blocked up ahead. It'll be a few minutes,
He said. I get out of the car to stretch my legs and wait until I can continue on my way again. I watched the commotion of the roadblock up ahead, and then he put his hand on my shoulder.
Stop!
Leave me the hell alone, I shout, running past the policeman. The hitchhiker began to chase me, running. The policeman blew his whistle, but I paid him no mind. Oh my God, I'm running as fast as I can. I look back and that damn hitchhiker is behind me, chasing me, still smiling that grin that I have come to despise. Out of breath, I stop. I look ahead of myself. That's my car, I say as I look at the burned out shell of a car being pulled up the side of the mountain. But how can that be?
Whoever he was, he must have fallen asleep,
Said the policeman, talking to the man with the wrecker. Looking back, I see the hitchhiker staring at me with that smile still on his face.
I told you to stop.